Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. My name is Dr. Ghost and we are going to be back in the Tier 6 Premium American Destroyer, the KIDD. The KIDD, baby. Who doesn't love the KIDD? This is a gunboat destroyer, so this video is going to be all about the KIDD and the gunboating and all the stuff. We're also going to be talking about what you should be doing as a destroyer and stuff like that. So if you like tips and tricks, or if you just like general videos on ships, well, you've come to the right place. So, with that out of the way, the first game here, that's right, it's the first game of two. We have a double feature today for you ladies and gentlemen out there, because I'm feeling nice today. And, yeah, so we are on, what is this map? Northern Waters Domination Mode. And this is just an average game here. Nothing too spectacular, but it's a nice little game. Nothing too great, but it's okay, right? Now notice that there is a carrier in this game, so there's that. A lot of people don't cover what a destroyer's job is in a carrier game, and it's kind of pretty simple. Your job is the same. Number one, getting caps. That's important. Getting those capture zones is vital, okay? Now, one thing to mention about the KIDD is the KIDD has pretty damn good AA for a destroyer. It's nothing like phenomenal like Friesland or Iowa or stuff like that, but it's pretty damn strong for an AA destroyer here down at Tier 6. So it's not horrible. It does have pretty good AA. So if the carrier does decide to attack us, he is gonna get his planes slowly chewed up over time. Now, one thing to mention too, the enemy carrier is a Zuiho. And, well, the Zuiho is Japanese, and if we know anything about Japanese planes, they are made of paper mache. They tend to get ripped apart anytime they get hit by anti-aircraft guns, right? So we all know this, we all love it. Now, we are in the Bravo cap, and notice that the carrier is flying his planes nearby, but he is starting to turn his planes away, which he should. If he doesn't want to lose his whole squadron or lose a few planes from his squadron, he better. Now, notice that I am spotted. Well, that could only be one ship. That's the enemy destroyer. It is an Akatsuki. The Akatsuki has obviously superior concealment than me. He's probably running a full-on concealment build. Notice that my concealment is only 5.5 kilometers, so that is something to keep in mind. So we are unfortunately not able to keep him spotted. Now notice, as much as I want to rush him, I'm not. I'm holding back, and I'm popping my smoke screen. And I am actually just not going to rush him, because that is how I die. There's a Nuremberg right here, and there's a bunch of battleships looking this way, and there's a carrier trying to drop on me. So what I'm doing is backing up, popping smoke, and I am opening up on this Nuremberg. This Nuremberg is way too close for comfort, and I'm going to start dakking until he's dead or whatever, right? That's the whole idea. Now notice that we have already shot down 3 of those carrier planes. You gotta love that. And we're slowly whittling this Nuremberg away, and in the process, he's getting shot at by both of the Ismails that are over here with me as well. And down he goes. The first blood goes to the friendly teammates, and he's not having fun. He's back at port, regretting life decisions, charging in at the beginning of the game. Not very smart on your end, but hey, it is what it is. GG's. Moving on. We got the cap here. So that's a solo cap in our name, and now we are going to move off to the starboard side here, come out of the smoke screen, and we're going to begin to spot things. Once again, there's still a battleship out there that hasn't been spotted. Our carrier is currently focused on the Charlie side of the map, so we need to come out here and do our job and spot as a destroyer. That's the second most important thing. Really, spotting and getting caps are your two main jobs. As a destroyer, you need to be going out there, getting into those caps, contesting those caps, and doing your job. That's really the ultimate thing. Now notice we have basically a clear line to this enemy destroyer. I know he's out here. Here he is. Derflinger I'm not too worried about, and the other battleship, the Fuso, is currently behind the island, so I have a perfect opportunity to just charge at this destroyer and take him down. Now notice that our battleships are actually in the Alpha cap, so I really don't need to go over there right now. Our team is absolutely pushing in, so we really don't need to worry too much, and we can come out here and deal with this Akatsuki, and in the process, he's getting shot at by my Ismails, and well, down he goes. That's the second kill for our team, and actually the team has got a couple more kills as well. Our team so far doing pretty damn good. It's great to see it. When a team is actually doing awesome, you gotta love it. So anyway, we're up to 22,000 damage. Nothing great, but one thing too, the third thing I want to talk about is damage is not everything, ladies and gentlemen. Doing your job is, okay? I'm not going to spoil anything, but I'll talk about that at the end of the game, why damage is so important. But and where we actually place in the end. I'm already kind of spoiling it. You gotta love it. But no, damage is not everything, ladies and gentlemen. Doing your job is. Getting those caps, you know, doing your job as whatever ship you are, right? We're a destroyer. We know we need to be coming out here getting caps and whatnot and doing our job. But notice in this game in particular, our team is basically rolling through this enemy team, and we really don't need to get many caps. All we need to do is take advantage of what's happening. We have a clear line to the enemy carrier, so I'm taking advantage of this moment. I'm seizing the moment to rush down this carrier and get him off the board. I'm not worried because we have good AA. We can manage to shoot down most, if not all, of his planes that he sends at us, so I'm not too scared. And we can absolutely commence Daka every day, all the days in the world towards this Zuiho. He's not having fun. I mean, as you guys can see, we're getting Citadels with high explosive. High explosive rounds are Citadeling this carrier. You gotta love that at 9 kilometers. Checks out, right? And yeah, we're making this Zuiho just have so much fun right now. There's another Citadel right through his stern there. And yeah, Zuiho, it must be made out of paper, because we are just getting Citadels, even at angles with high explosive, which checks out in my book. Now the Zuiho is just struggling to hit me with his planes. I will take it though, and we're just going to keep on farming him. Notice though, we're not making it easy. We're still turning, we're dodging, we're weaving, we're going in and out, trying to dodge cruiser shells and all the stuff. And well, down that carrier goes. That's our first kill of the game, and we're about 6 minutes in. But the battleship, actually earlier, one of the battleships over by Charlie, I think, absolutely obliterated that carrier and left him on nothing, so we could finish him off much quicker. Now the Zuiho, before he died, he got off a squadron of torpedo bombers. So, well, all we have to do is dodge those or whatever. I mean, it really doesn't matter. We got most of our HP intact. But notice the points. I mean, like, the team has done so good up to this point that we didn't even have to fucking cap. And that says a lot. And, well, the game's over. And we actually took a torpedo at the end there, if you guys noticed there. But, yeah, weird game right there. But I just want to show you guys that one. 53k damage, but we were top of the leaderboard. I know. We didn't have really any damage, but we still placed top. And that is just another prime example of damage isn't everything. Doing your job is. Now, moving on to the second game. I had this game, actually, right after this one I just had. And, yeah. KIDD, man. KIDD is so much fun. What else can I say? So, Tears of the Desert. It's going to be an epicenter mode this time. You don't see a lot of people featuring epicenter games, but I actually am kind of glad you guys are going to see one. This one, we're going to get a bit more damage, so if y'all love your damage numbers, well, we don't break 100k, but we still do some pretty good amounts of damage. We Daka as usual, because that's what the KIDD is all about, but we get inside the epicenter, and we play pretty well for the most part. So I'm going to point out that, of course, and we'll talk about some other things along the way. Now notice, if you guys were looking at the team layout there actually is an enemy Z-35, which is a pretty damn good and dangerous gunboat, and there's also a Tashkent. So we actually have to be a little bit more conservative this game. We can't be overall super balls to the wall aggressive, especially in an epicenter mode. Now what I usually do in epicenter is I tend to just go right in. Okay, I go straight into the epicenter and I just go right in, and if I need to turn away to disengage, I do that, okay? I try to get as deep as possible within the rings as I can without getting killed, obviously. Okay, that's exactly what you need to be doing as a destroyer. Okay, we talk about this on the channel a lot, capping and spotting, and you know, destroyers do it best. Other than carriers, carriers can't cap, but they can spot better, obviously. But no, destroyers can cap so easily in this game, or they can do it so efficiently because they are the most stealthy class in the game. Okay, a lot of destroyer players, what they end up doing is they tend to just go off on one of the flanks and just spam torpedoes, and they're completely useless for 90% of the game. That's personally why when I'm trying to actually win games, I don't play torpedo boats. I play gunboats because I can have so much more of an impact on the game because I can actually counter destroyers and I can overall do my job a lot more efficiently, getting caps and spotting and whatnot, and I can actually kill those destroyers that decide to get into the cap. It gets a bit more trickier, though. It gets a bit more trickier when you get battleships and cruisers pushing into the cap. Then you got to play a bit more passive, and you really need to just spot those guys and hope that your teammates actually help you. I know, hoping for your teammates to help you. Gosh, in 2024, that's like asking for, yeah, you know, you can think of whatever you want to think, but it's asking for a lot to be quite frank there. Anyway, though, we are in the epicenter. We are fully in it, baby. Now, notice we are just going to sit here. We're not going to move around. We're not going to move around too much. We're just going to sit here, keep these guys spotted. And, well, the Tashkent gets spotted. Now, this is a dangerous situation. I could open up, and I could pop smoke screen, or I could wait a minute until I absolutely need to. He's about to enter my concealment, so I'm going to open up and begin Operation Daka Daka. Now, we're going to smoke up because I do not want to get shot at. I want to preserve my HP. Now, KIDD does have a couple heals, but they're not too great, okay? So we don't want to get hit for too much damage right off the rip. Now, we're going to have the outer ring, or actually the middle ring, pretty quick here. 9 seconds, we're actually going to have the middle ring, and we should start rolling in some points for the team. So, there you go. Now, the Tashkent went off towards the back side of that island, and we're not going to be able to really do a whole lot to him, but what we're going to be able to do, though, is Daka 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 and just keep these people back, okay? That's kind of the whole idea. The thing I love about American destroyers is it seems like a cruiser shooting at you because of the amount of firepower that these things dish out. 5-inch guns every 3 seconds, 2 seconds. It's pretty fun, man. And that's personally why I just love playing them. Even though I'm not doing crap loads of damage, I'm contesting caps, I'm keeping destroyers at bay, and I'm even keeping some battleships at bay like this York is about, or this Rook is about to figure out. This Rook is going to quickly realize that charging into this cap was not the greatest idea, and he's going to end up turning away, going broadside to most of my team, and eventually he's going to go broadside to my torpedoes, which I'm going to have back in about 1 second, and they are back in stock, and I am slowly Daka-Daking, and I am finally in the torpedo angle that I need to be in to send some torpedoes out there, yeah, this Rook is basically fucked. There's really not a whole lot he can do. The only hope he has if he turns hard to port and he gets the fuck out of there, but that's just not going to happen. And well, for the most part, we're going to be able to just keep on shooting him, and well, he's going to eat a wall of skill any second now, and he's going to be back at port in a jiffy, just like so. And down he goes. It took a minute, but hey, gotta love it. That's our first kill of the game. And actually, that's our first kill in general for the whole entire team. And then, surprise, surprise, this guy decides to YOLO me. Okay, Tashkent is tired of life, or he was trying to surprise me. It did not work, unfortunately, and, well, we are going to absolutely obliterate him. Now, notice that the Bismarck B is in here as well, and everything. We were trying to get back to, you know, we were actually retreating right off the bat to get away from that Bismarck B. And when we were actually retreating out of the smoke screen, the fucking Tashkent came out of nowhere. So you gotta love that. And we take him out, getting our second kill of the game. And yeah, so far we are currently winning this game on points. We've got 470. The enemy still only has 420 points, and we are doing pretty damn good so far. I still haven't seen that enemy Z35, though. I don't know where he's at, so we got to keep a keen eye out for him and hope for the best, really. I'm surprised that this Bismarck is actually in this kind of position to begin with. I don't know what the hell our teammates are doing. We have no crossfires or anything, question mark. And, yeah, I don't get it. I really don't get it. I really want to open up, but I'm just, like, not about it. And then I get spotted. Well, that's definitely the destroyer. We know this because there's nothing else that can be spotting us, and there he is. We start opening up on him with our 5-inch guns. Now, one thing to remember is the Z35 has really good sonar smoke combo capabilities, so we do not want to be near him. We want to get away from him because we know he has sonar. All he has to do is get me sonared, and he can just Daka away and kill me. So I'm trying to get distance between me and that smoke screen, okay? And then it looks like that enemy destroyer, the Z35, actually comes out of his smoke screen for whatever reason. I guess he wants to spot me because he has great concealment. Another destroyer player with god-tier concealment. Lots of people seem to be running double concealment during my time playing the KIDD today. I don't get it, but hey, Whatever works, whatever works. And he is still keeping me spotted. Crazy. I've got 5.5 kilometer concealment. That guy must have like 4.8, 4.9 concealment, because goddamn, he is just keeping me spotted. But thankfully, finally, we get back and we get unspotted there. And we are trying to go behind this island, and we're going to pop off a few cheeky salvos at that Bismarck. Hopefully get a fire just like we did there. You gotta love that. But in the process, we're also getting some incapacitations, or not incapacitations, but defense ribbons. That's what I meant to say, not incapacitations. But anyway, yeah, we had to retreat out of there. So now the enemy team is starting to flip the epicenter for themselves, and it's not looking too good. Our teammates are all dead. And I am like the only one with kills or anything. There's only one other ship on my team that actually got a kill. So we need to start pulling things together here. We really need these battleships that are all clumped up over here to start taking things out. Finally, one of our dudes actually takes out that Bismarck that's been sitting there the whole time and running around near our frickin' spawn. Finally, he goes down, and it's starting to look a little better. But still, we've got a Kutuzov in that cap. We really need these battleships to be aggressive. This is the time to shine, battleships. I don't know why y'all are just sitting back, but hey, it is what it is. Now, the Kutuzov is smoking up. We take a bunch of shots at him, and then the Gneisenau is spotted, and I didn't realize that he was keeping me spotted until now, so I'm starting to open up on him as well. But the Gneisenau, notice, he's not even looking at me. He's looking at the cruiser because, well, that's the closest ship to him. He wants to kill him. So I'm taking full advantage of that with that in mind, and I'm just dack-a-dacking him. That's really about all I can do. I can't really go into the cap at this time, so we're just kind of sailing around, and we're dack-a-dack-a-dacking, trying to kill this Gneisenau, and then we will head back towards the cap. I'm really worried about that frickin' Z-35. That Z-35 is actually something that usually I tend to stay away from until I can absolutely definitively take it out with the support of my team. Now down goes that Gneisenau, the cruiser here. The Plymouth actually did land some beautiful torpedoes on him, and so far we are still ahead on points despite the enemy capturing 2 out of the 3 rings inside the epicenter. But we need to get back towards the epicenter to maintain our points lead. Otherwise, the enemy team, if they hold the epicenter for the remainder of this match, they are going to catch up on points and potentially win. So we need to get back there and do some things. But we have to play cautious. We have to play pretty conservatively because we only have 5,000 HP left. We've used the majority of our heals. So I'm really thinking about everything here. I look off the port side there. I realize that our battleships are getting torpedoed by something. That could only be the Z-35. So that tells me that the destroyer is probably to the southern end of the map, out in front of those battleships. So I take the opportunity to charge into the epicenter. Okay, we know we can get in there, so we're going to start heading that way. It looks like the enemy Z-35 is pretty focused on torpedoing our battleships. So another play I was thinking of right now was actually heading out to support those battleships, but I quickly realized that, nope, that's just not the plan. We need to get into this epicenter. Okay, even if there's ships in there, we need to get in there and at least contest the epicenter so we can maintain a points lead. But notice that points lead is dwindling away. Actually, the enemy team is starting to lead on points. They have 600 points now. We only have 576. We're locked at 576 points. So we need to get into the epicenter. It's not even a question anymore. And realizing this is so important. A lot of people don't actually read their screens. And they lose games because of it, right? That's one thing to mention. That's my 4th point I want to point out, is reading your screen, reading your mini-maps. Situational awareness is key, ladies and gentlemen, because it will greatly influence on what you do as a ship in your games. We know that we are lacking points, so what do? We go get some points by getting into the cap, okay? It's so important that you guys pay attention to these things, all right? Notice that I'm doing it, and I quickly start heading into the cap, and now we're starting to contest it at least. So they're stopping, we're stopping the points for the enemy team. They're still getting a couple points here and there because they still have the inner ring. I can't push in right yet, but I'm slowly starting to make way because they are slowly backing up, so we're going to be able to slip into the middle ring here and contest it, and that will freeze their points. And then this could hopefully give my battleships and whatnot a shot to literally a shot to come in here and deal with these guys. Okay, it's only a Colorado, it's only a Kutuzov. If our Bismarck can actually land some decent hits, which he is going to end up doing, that would be fantastic. Now, this Colorado is hard spotted by every god and everybody, so we are popping our smoke screen, and we are once again going to commence the Daka, and we are going to slowly whittle him away. Now, notice that our Gunboater there, our destroyer, is YOLOing that Kutuzov, and our Bismarck actually manages to kill said Kutuzov, and well, that just about seals the game for the Reds here. We killed that Kutuzov, and it looks like the Colorado is turning away. He's giving up the middle ring. We're going to take this back, and we're going to slowly start gaining points back again, and hopefully win this game here. But overall, this game was a pretty close game. I still think that the enemy destroyer should have played a little bit more into the caps. The Z-35, if he just would have stayed inside the capture zones, he could have easily killed me and potentially killed my other destroyer. But unfortunately for him, he gave up the caps, which made it to where myself and this other destroyer could come in here and take full advantage of that. And that is ultimately basically what sealed the game here. That enemy destroyer gave up the caps, and he threw the game, mostly because of it. He decided to go out and torpedo our battleships and whatnot. So, nonetheless, we will take it. And that right there, ladies and gentlemen, basically concludes the last game in the KIDD. Our little double feature is basically over with. We got the intermediate ring, and we're about to get the final outer circle. And that, ladies and gentlemen, does it. That basically seals it. And now we are secured on points. We're starting to gain now. We are about 700 points up. The enemy team is about 558 points. They're locked. The only option that this enemy destroyer has is to either die or die. All right, there's no other option. If he wants to win this game, if he really wants to, he has to torpedo everything and kill everything. And realistically, that's just not going to happen. So, yeah. And notice I'm not being overly aggressive. I could easily charge in that channel, but, well, I'm not an idiot. I've seen that way too many times in movies where a lone ship would go right down a channel and get absolutely pummeled. We've seen that way too many times, so we're not going to do that. We're going to sit right here, sit tight, and just let the game run its course and play safe, play defensively, which is something that Z-35 did not do. He just kept on running and running and running until he got out of the caps, and then he went and torpedoed everything, and that just, I don't think, was the play. But, anyway, yeah, game is basically over. And there he is. He's actually getting spotted by my enemy destroyer, or my friendly destroyer there. And, well, yeah, it's basically game over for him. There's about 30 seconds left. And, yeah. We are not smoked up, but we got the island between me and him. He's trying to smoke up is what I meant to say. And, well, the Gunboater takes him out. And that does it, ladies and gentlemen. That's the end of the game. Pretty interesting games, though. Two pretty decent games, pretty interesting games. KIDD is amazing. It's a great gunboat, great cap contester. And just like that, 80k damage, we got 3.1k base XP, 500,000 credits earned without even a credit flag. Yeah, KIDD, man, it still has it. It's amazing. What else can I say? And finally, the commander we're running here, we're running Vincent Mordoff. We've got Observant Range, Look at Me Now, Perceptive, Sheltered Arms, and Leviathan. He's a legendary 4 rank 16 captain, and he's, yeah, pretty good. Pretty good stuff indeed. Anyways, thank you everybody for watching. Hope you all did enjoy. If you guys did, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. You all know what to do. And anyway, have a fantastic rest of your weeks. I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out. Stay healthy, as always.